It's exciting. It's definitely different being on the bench, like in a different type of uniform, I guess you could say.
Well, she might not know this, but I just started grooming her last year to be a coach.
Honestly, it really wasn't in my mind until kind of later in the season. But I think one thing that I really liked about Coach Turgeon was me and him had just a really good trust between one another on the court. Me being on the court playing and him off the court as well. So I think that's kind of a huge thing where he's saying kind of grooming me a little bit. He would allow me to call plays and talk to the girls, and that's just one thing I really liked about him.
I knew the way she looked at the game, the way she saw it, the way she saw the ups and downs of the team, that she could be a good coach. So I talked to her about it a little bit last year, and then she decided that's what she wanted to do. And
after season ended, I kind of started thinking about it, like at least I would want to try it to see how it is. And we had a last individual meeting with our coaches at the end of season, and that's kind of where I asked him, and we just had a good talk about it and said, yeah, he would bring me on board for part-time because I'm still finishing school and see if I liked it. And that was really cool that he was willing to let me do it.
I didn't start that because I thought she was going to be like a typical shooting guard and thinks about shooting all the time, but she's not that way at all. And as soon as she made the transition to point guard, I knew she had some coach qualities in her.
I was nervous at first, but now getting into it and knowing the girls, I enjoy it, and I think they truly do respect me. So
that would be cool to be up there with Dee. She's so one of my best friends, so that'd be cool to have to be up there with her.
Yeah, I'd much rather be in the position where I could go out there and do it myself. It's a lot harder sitting back and just hoping the girls can find it within themselves to do it. They're more than capable of doing it, but yes, it's a lot harder sitting on the bench cheering than it is being able to go out there and try and fix some things on the court.
She gives me a little credibility because now she's seen both sides of it, and it maybe can explain it to the players a little bit better when they don't quite understand it, why and when and how I do things. That maybe now that she's seen both sides, she can explain it better to the players.
It's not that hard for me to tell them what to do, just because on the court when we played together, I did the same thing, and it was just I just knew they listened. And so a T, yeah, it's different because now I can't go out and play with her, but I think it's easier for me to talk to someone like her just because I have played with her before.
Considering she's still one of my best friends, but she takes her job seriously. So what she talks to the coaches, that's what she talks to the coaches about. When I'm still her best friend, but I'm a player now and she's a coach. So I respect that completely.
They've made it fun though. They would joke with me that, I'm not going to call you Coach D, and I never expected them to just because of how young I was. But they love calling me Coach D now. It's I love it. It's a cool just inside joke we have.
And she was friends with everybody on the team, and that's hard to do whether you're a guy or girl, especially with girls. And I noticed that everybody on the team respected her, from our 14th man last year to our best player, whoever that was. They respected her, and if they respect her as a player, I think they'll really respect her as a coach.
Yeah, as a player, you just focus more on yourself, I believe. Just kind of hoping you are prepared enough for the game you need to play. As a coach, what I've seen is you got to worry about not only your team, but the other team's personnel as well. And also just some of the little things that we need to get ready for our team to do prior to our warm-up, and then our post-game warm-up, and then before we get onto the court. So there's a lot of different type of preparation in that sense of, making sure our team knows our game plan.
But we're still best friends off the court and stuff, and still on the court, but our relationship's just a little bit different when it comes to being on the court with everybody else.
One thing I've learned from this experience is I could still be more vocal as a coach because I do know basketball, and I'm learning a lot with our head assistant and our assistant coaches.
And she's been friends with some of those girls for 3 years, and it's hard to break away from that, and I think she's done a good job of that. I think, again, as soon as she gets out of school and if she commits to the coaching full time, she'll take the next step of making the separation.
I've been a lot more anxious just sitting down on the bench, just knowing you can't really go in to help your teammates out, but I like it a lot. I'm learning a lot of different type of preparation as a coach versus a player, and it's interesting to me. I like it a lot, though.
It's almost like she's still playing and hasn't made that jump to a coach. Not because she doesn't want to, but because she's still in school. And that's the number one thing for me is I want her to graduate.
I don't have a set plan. Just want to graduate, and then if there's an opportunity, I think I wouldn't hesitate to jump on it. But it's something I still just need to put more thought into and probably talk to Coach Turgeon about a little more just to get some more input. Obviously, he's a successful coach, so that's probably one thing I'll do.
If she decides this is exact what she wants to do, I'm sure she'll make the necessary changes that needs to be done for her to be a really good coach.
It's just awesome. I'm very happy to be a part of this type of transition. It's made me realize kind of what I do want to do, and hopefully I'll pursue it. And it's just been a very fun time.